Good evening, everybody. We are back with the second part of tonight's chapter. We are still joined by Lost Without a Trace, Scorched Ace 97, Ari Cypress Everly, Greyman Gaming, and More Than 56. And, of course, the lady of the hour,
Sally Sparklehands. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you have all come back upstairs. Unless when we have all come back upstairs and have reconvened after finding out that you have a sapper's tunnel that runs from under your base to inside of the fort. +1 to Twiggy.
Twiggy get a +1.
Yay.
Okay. So I think it's about time for us to talk some business. I mean, you've got some interior wall work that you want to get done. You have more money and more gear than you thought to be able to try to pay for it. And on top of that...
By the way, Ace, remember that you weren't downstairs.
Nope.
And on top of that, you have a basement that leads into a passageway that probably goes into the catacombs.
So not on top of that, but underneath that.
That would be more accurate, yes.
Yes. We, in fact, have a potential way into the city and a way for the city to come to us to say hi.
Yeah, I would be a little concerned about the city coming to visit when you're not expecting it through the basement while you're sleeping. I'm just saying.
Where are they having this discussion?
It looks like we're having the discussion in the middle of the room you normally sit in. Right?
Yeah. It's all upstairs in like the main meeting room of the base.
Has enough. I mean, that was how many items? One. I don't know how many were magical, but has enough time passed that I've done all my identifying, or am I still in there identifying? Because even if they came upstairs, if I'm not done identifying, I wouldn't be in this conversation.
Well, you would have identified what you would have detected magic. You would not yet be done identifying.
Okay, so then I won't be part of this until
I will
hear the sum up.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting there in a mound of magic items right now, in a chalk-drawn circle on the ground.
Okay, so then I won't be part of this conversation. I will be fully invested in just identifying, and I'll get a sum up when it's over.
Okay,
Mostly.
I want to see if this does a thing when I try to connect it to Ace.
Unless someone specifically pulls me out of that and says, hey, come be part of this conversation, Cass would be so just, all right. They're still
so you have the list that I already gave you, right?
Yes.
I'm now going to give you the tags for the items that are magical, along with their descriptions so that you'll know which ones they were.
10-4.
Yes. It would be bad if everything in the place came to us, because I'm not set up to host any kind of big dinner party. Nope. Not good.
Well, you probably wouldn't have to worry about it because it would be takeout and you would be dinner.
Oh, please. I am a dessert. I'm a snack.
Well,
You'd be the garnish in this case.
whatever you are, I guarantee you it would be bad.
Yeah, okay. So, I still like the stable. I want friends. We may have things in little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's not difficult
I want
to do.
that one. That one Twiggy wants. Twiggy called dibs on that one. I mean, that one's important, but that one, I want, yes.
Now, the good news about that is, I mean, I'm going to get subcontractors to work on that, but they can pretty much not come into the main base and still do everything you want them to do, because they just need to be able to build a masonry wall and put in a door. So all of that can be done without them seeing anything else on the inside. And I won't put in any of the security items until after they get the wall in.
Okay. Yeah, wall first, then lock. Yeah, lock
Yeah,
on door
exactly.
after the water's wall.
And this way, nobody even sees me putting it in. But, you know, they'll be able to get the wall in, because I'm not one for doing heavy stone work. I'll leave that up to other people.
Yes, other dwarfy people. Yes,
Maybe.
maybe.
Okay, so Twiggy is sold on the stable.
Yes.
Yeah, putting in the stable, we're going to say that'd probably be about 6 laborers, 5 days. I need to order the stone. I need to source stone that will match the rest of the building. And we want to get it fast. Probably about 11 gold.
Okay. So if we do that, so far we would be at 13 gold for you, including the walk around.
Now, as far as security items and details, it really depends on just how much you want done. And that can be a constantly upgrading kind of thing. Like, we can start small, and when we get the first things in, we can get into more things as you have more money and more time, you know, assuming that something terrible doesn't happen that kills you before then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the first thing we want to start with is upgrading the doors and locks.
Okay, that I can do pretty quickly. I have a guy that does doors, and I actually fabricate all of my own locks. So that won't be a problem. I can probably get the doors redone in 2 days. Now, the doors will be as heavy and as thick, and the locks will be as hard to pick as you want to pay for them being. If you want doors the quality of what we're up here, you'd be looking at like 3 or 4 silver. If you want doors that you wouldn't be able to get through, we're probably looking at 4 to 5 gold a piece. If you want doors that I wouldn't be able to get through, you're looking at 30 gold each.
Twiggy's just gonna look straight at Luther and just, I don't know.
You have any thoughts on this one, Van?
I think you would know more about security than I would.
Okay, I was just
I'm
making
just gonna
sure.
put it this way. You've got 3 doors. How many things do you have in this building that cost more than the 100 gold it would cost you to make sure they stayed in this building?
That is a fair thought.
More than we had a half hour ago.
Right? There's
Okay.
a lot in that room. I should have asked for a percentage.
Okay, so for the 3 doors, it sounds like everybody's okay with splurging a bit on the locks.
So at random intervals, you'll hear from like down the hall, "Oh, that's so cool!"
No. They literally came back to have this conversation in the room that you're in, and then
Oh,
realized
okay.
that you weren't paying attention and don't even know they're there. And they're just like, Cass, tick, 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 Cass, F him. We'll
This is
tell him later.
cool.
But every once in a while, like every 11 minutes, you hear him go, "Wow!" and then move on to trying to
Immediately
look at
into
the
the
next
next one.
thing. Like just
So
there
they
and
are
gone.
in the same room.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like he's
So
in
I am
that.
actually hearing this whole conversation.
Yes. Yeah, you're
Yes.
hearing the entire
You're
conversation
hearing
that
it.
they're
I
having.
got nothing.
You're hearing everything fine. Cass is oblivious. You are the only one in his head at the moment.
And that's absolutely not because of the spell.
No.
Cass is oblivious.
That's
The
just
spell
Right.
doesn't make him that way. He
Nope.
just doesn't care.
Cass is wrapped up in some of his quest-seeking knowledge bits, and that's part of what Ari's problem has been with his ancestors. for a
I
very
went
long
and made
time.
this perfect list where I had 2 lists written up for all of these items. One that was the list that I could just hand him, so he had the descriptions, and that's what I showed to all of you guys, the ones who could see it. And then the other list, which had all of the magic item tags in it, so that as he starts doing his identifies, he would figure out what all the items were. And now I have to, do it the old school way.
The effort is seen and appreciated.
Not by me. I want less effort. But now you'll be able to do all of your. By the
okay,
way,
that's
guys,
gonna
this
be
is
my
this thing, and
campaign.
do the description, and then, say, and it does this, because I know that you'll be able to look up what all the different magic items are that
Oh, yeah.
you don't
I'll figure it out.
that you don't
Yep.
know. I mean, some of them are obvious, like the cursed longsword +5. Obviously, it's a cursed longsword +5.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
no
know
big
exactly
deal.
what that one does.
Yeah, that's fine.
Chases Twiggy around to the room of its own accord is what it does.
Okay.
Just imagine Twiggy picking up a cursed item that forces her to obsess over it, and it's made completely out of work metal.
Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, pretty much.
DM,
Yes.
how do I go about making a cursed item?
Ironically, the same way you would make a normal magical item and then add 20% to the cost usually.
Ace, you're a bad man.
I in fact knew an alchemist that used to intentionally put heartburn into all of their potions. So that you would go to them for healing, but try to have to not go to them for healing quite as often.
That's a smart healer, that is.
Right? I don't want to get hurt because then my throat burns for an hour.
I believe the description I used to use for my potions was, okay, so what do you want? Do you want the one that tastes like a goblin piston? This one? Do you want one of the spores? What flavor do you want?
Okay, so that takes care of that. So now, anything beyond that, I mean, I can start ordering things if you know specific things that you want. We can play it by ear because that's going to take me probably... Because I can't work on those doors until they finish that room. So this is probably at least a week's worth of work, and that gives you more time to think about what else you want. But these are the things that just have to be done first. Other things that I would suggest is I know someone who can put devices on your structure that make it harder to scry anyone inside. Things that can help you to detect things that may be invisible. Things that can block teleportation, things like that. I mean, and then, any
So
kind of security animals, mundane or magical. I mean, these are all things that are options.
And I have a nose.
Daya, can you kindly kick Cass in the head for a second to see if you can get his attention?
Hey, Ace, bonk, take 1 point of damage.
Best thing ever.
Hey,
And
Cassidius.
I was like 10 minutes through the 11 minutes of casting this spell.
Womp, womp, womp.
Hey, Ace.
What's up? Yeah?
Excuse me, Cass.
Yeah? What's up?
We have been propositioned with a
Wait, when did you guys get here?
30 minutes
Oh.
ago.
Oh,
Okay.
they found things.
We found some stuff that we will definitely go over with you later when you're done being absorbed in your nerd books.
By the way, there's some really cool things here.
Yep.
There's some really cool things there, by the way. I was rolling some of
There are
those. I was
some
like, oh
really
man, I
cool
want
things
that.
here.
But we've been we may be able to at least somewhat scry-proof the base, and as you being the magically inclined nature, I wanted you to be in this conversation.
Will that stop me from scrying outside?
This is
It
why I
depends on
wanted
how
you to
I
be
set
part
it
of
up. I can either set up I can either have glyphs put up that are just like a dome and protect the entire structure, and those are cheaper, or I can have them done so that they're one way, and then you'd be able to do stuff out, but it would be harder for people to do stuff in. Also, the same thing for teleportation points and stuff like that.
How much will the difference be?
It's about half again as much.
So, now my next question. If I need a scry, I'll just step outside. I don't think that's worth it. I'll just step outside if that's necessary. Teleportation, I say we just do total cancellation at the moment. But once... Because I can't do teleportation at the moment.
Is there a way to actually get onto the roof of this base?
Actually, technically... DM
Yes, the
will-
room that you were in that was that has the entrance to the basement. There is like there's a trap door in the roof of that segment. Not that it leads to the outside, but it leads to like an attic area, and then you could climb through the attic area to get like onto the roof. It's not an easy roof access, but there's technically roof access.
Did we
That
explore
trap
that?
door is bolted and barred from the inside, and you did not explore it because it's about 20 feet in the air, and you would have to, and there's currently no ladder or like walkway to get up to it. You'd kind of have to climb the stairs, and then like you'd have to climb on the shelves and then jump up and unlatch it, crashing to the ground, and then climb back up the shelves, and then jump up and swing the trapdoor open, crashing to the ground, and then climb back up the shelves, and then jump up and grab the opening, and then parkour up at the moment, which is why nobody's done it.
So,
Or, fly.
Or fly. I mean, fly is the easy option, isn't it?
what is her
Or
first
get a
name?
freaking ladder.
Adaya? Oh, Sally?
Sally, do you just
Sally.
do you just
E,
do
not A. Sally.
Sally?
Sally. Yeah, it's a common mistake. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
Do you just do traps and protections? Do you also know anybody that can do actual renovations?
Yeah, I know some stonemasons and carpenters and stuff. That's who I'm gonna subcontract for the stable.
Okay, I'm just
For the what?
if we ever have to expand or want to expand, I just want to make sure we know who to go to, because obviously loyalty builds with successful situations.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah, not a problem.
I just want to make sure. That is the other question I have for you. You've found us twice. How do we go about getting a hold of you in case we ever need to?
I live here in Eastgate, so I can show you where I am. That's not a problem.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
I'll
don't
probably just send an owl.
come visit without telling me about it, because I kind of don't want good clients to die.
Is
But
there a place I can send, and I'll pull Echo out.
Red flag.
I have a means of sending
Hey,
letters.
Ben, you're
or
still
some
holding on to
sort
that
of
that
information
wand,
to you.
right? Or do I have it?
I had given it to you.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
He does
you
not
have-
get
you
that
have
back.
So I'll hold that Echo. I have a way of sending a letter to either inform you we're coming or something, but I'd rather not lose my little buddy. Can you show me just some location that I can possibly leave information for you, or if you have I don't know.
I'm assuming you're based on the fact that you're sitting in a pile of what I can only assume to be separated out magic items, and you just pulled a bat out of your pocket. I'm going to assume that you're a wizard of some kind, and I'm going to tell you that your familiar would be fine, because it's smart enough not to sit on anything that would look like a lever, so it's probably not going to set anything off.
Okay, so then once you just show me where you live, I'll be able to just I'll send Echo to drop off any invitation or whatever.
Yeah, that should be
Yeah.
fine.
We've got Cassius with his bat out of pocket. Yeah.
Bad out of pocket. Okay, so then I would
That's
say
got to become a T-shirt. I'm sorry.
bad
I'd wear
out of
that.
pocket. I'll wear it.
We need to get pocket tees and just have the bat like flying
bat
out of the
sticking out.
pocket.
I'm down. No, just like
There
a
we
little
go.
head
Look at his
peeking
head.
out. Yep, a little head peeking out.
There we go.
We could just
Yes.
draw that as a T-shirt design. Just draw the pocket.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Draw that.
DM
On it.
does Misty Step technically it's not the teleport spell.
Right.
Would Misty Step count as part of that teleportation dome? Or is it
You're
any type
not
of teleportation
sure.
magic? Okay.
Probably any type of magical movement would be blocked. Now, Misty stepping inside of the base to any
Just going
location
through
inside
the
would
dome.
be fine, and Misty stepping around the outside would probably be fine. It would just be not through whatever it considers a threshold.
Okay. Okay, so then I vote that we do all cancellation of divination and teleportation. If we need to change that up later down the line when I'm able to do some of those types of magics, we can then address the price from there. But I vote, and I'm addressing the party, we just do all cancellation there.
He's our magic guy, so I'll go with him.
Because if we're
Okay.
trying to lay low, I mean, we're going to need to make sure that divination can't make it through.
Okay, that's gonna take me. I mean, again, I have a guy, but I'm gonna need to contact him and make sure he's available. That's probably gonna take about 10 or 12 days, and then when he's here, he's gonna need a day of uninterrupted work, meaning no combat breaking out at the base. I only say this because it's a thing that's happened before. And that's probably going to be about 1,200 gold to set those up.
600 each.
Yes. Well, 500 and 700. The teleportation requires a higher level of runic protection than the blocking divination.
Do we have that kind of funds, party? I don't know what we have.
Also, just to remind everyone, you just found 350 gold and 120 gold worth of silver coins in that room as well. So, like, you
So we
have
another 400.
yeah, you got another almost 500 on top of what
Or,
you think
or
you
we
had.
sell anything that we just found.
Right.
Right. And since nobody can get to your
So-
characters at the moment,
Open up Luther, because he has it. Like, I have written down in my notes about what I had before we started spending money.
what I have right now written for Luther is 40 platinum, 238 gold, 2,300 silver, and 1,200 copper.
That sounds about right. So we would basically be rolling the whole bank to try and
Yeah.
make that work.
I would say we can wait on the teleportation. People don't know enough about us at the moment. I don't think anybody's going to be teleporting in at this point. I think once we get a little bit more of a name for ourselves, that might become more of a problem. But for the moment, I think we're good with just stopping any divination from trying to learn about us.
Yeah, the only person I'm slightly worried about with teleporting is Golden Boy that you pissed off, who had the pleasure room, who was decided to use that as his base of operation before we decided to kick him out of here.
I also... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, because he went wink out.
I believe when we talked to Blaze and the Fountain View 5, they kind of described it as he's going to need quite a bit of time to kind of recuperate from the losses that we hit. So I think we have some time to kind of build. I mean, that might be one of our next purchases, is to cancel that out as well. But I think we have a little bit of time before we really need to deal with that. Now, I can tell you that the magic for teleportation, like long distance teleportation, takes a lot. I mean, you have to know what you're doing, and it takes quite a bit out of a magical practitioner, and you have to know like what you're doing. So even if he came back, I don't think, unless he's got a group of individuals that are at a different base that are much stronger than the individuals that were here, I don't think they're going to be a problem for the moment. Maybe he can teleport back, but I don't think he's bringing an army teleporting into our place.
Okay, at least for
Okay.
for now. So okay,
Right, for now,
wait. We've got make a wall, make a stable, better front door so we can see when people come. Are we doing a door over the pit that is the basement that leads to a tunnel?
So, wait, what about this pit tunnel door?
Yeah,
I'll bring you up to speed with that one afterwards, Cass.
I will say, depending on where that door is, I mean, if it's right by the stairs, then obviously that's a problem. But if it's a little bit farther at the moment, if in case we want to reserve a little bit of funds, I do have magics that could inform me if something comes through that door.
I don't think that's a bad idea. And I can set up some simple mechanical traps. Like, if you guys aren't planning on using that for a little bit, I could just set up some one-use mechanical traps, and if anything tries coming in, you'll know about it, because they won't be quiet anymore.
I say we go that
It might be
route for
messy,
the
though.
moment.
Ew. Well, we had to do a lot of cleanup with the people who were here before and that aren't here anymore, so we're not used to the messy.
Now, did it seem like that tunnel has been used at all recently?
No, I wouldn't think so.
So, I mean, people might not even, it might be so lost that nobody even knows about it anymore. So I say that should be not bottom of the list, but if we can put, as you said, a couple mechanical traps in there to dissuade any adventuring. And if I can, I mean, every time we're here sleeping, I can put up I have a string I can put in front of it. And if anything crosses that line, I will know about it.
I mean, if you guys are really sure you're not going to go spelunking down there anytime soon, like, let me know before you do it. I can spend an hour and a half, and I mean, we have a good relationship going here, so I'll take care of this one. I can spend an hour and a half setting up a couple things. They won't be really good, but they'll stop anyone who doesn't know how to set them up. So
I think that's the best bet in regards to that door, whatever it is. Now, anybody can disagree with me, but I think
Okay, I just want to make sure that there's plan because
and
there it is, giant draft.
and also in the meantime, I would recommend putting a trap door over the entrance to the basement.
Yep, I'll agree with that too.
Like a big, heavy steel one. Something that somebody trying to get through would make a lot of noise.
How much will that run?
I honestly don't know. I'm gonna have to go talk to a blacksmith and see what a
Talk to him.
2-inch
Go ahead.
thick trap door goes for these days.
So I'd say we got trapdoor, we got front door, we got wall, and we got stable.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you,
Two doors and a stable.
it's steel fabrication. It's not gonna be more than like 30, 40 gold tops. It's basically a suit of armor squished flat with a handle, so can't be that hard.
So this is about the cost of the metal. Like,
So just to clarify, It was about
Gray,
500.
at the moment that you hear suit of armor squished back, you squished, you get a couple flashbacks.
Wins.
Of course.
So Sally, just to Sally, excuse me, just to clarify, the protection to stop people from scrying, that one was 500, correct, or was that the 700?
That's
was
the
the 500.
500 because teleportation is higher level and harder to block.
Right. That's what I had thought, but I wanted to make sure because I'm trying to keep a mental tally of how much we are about to, spend.
No, that's good.
Not have anymore.
Yeah, because right now, if I'm doing the mental math properly, we're at about 645 gold. Is what everybody's asking for here.
I mean, that sounds about right.
What else would you recommend?
I mean, that's definitely where you want to start. Other than that, it really depends on how far you want to go. You can get some piercers or shriekers for that cavern down there. You can get, guard dogs. You can get guard blink dogs. Like, it really when it comes to base fortifications, the amount of money you can spend is literally as much as you have, and you just got to decide where you want to stop along the way.
Question for you when it comes around to the money.
Yeah.
Do you only take it in coin or do you take it in trade?
I will
Meaning
take-
items.
I will take coin, gems, and usually jewelry, although I reserve the right to say no if it's something like creepy looking.
On the same building off of that, once again with your contacts, I'm assuming your contacts are more on the building side. I'm assuming you don't have contacts as like he'll motion to all the magic items. I mean, you don't happen to have a reliable contact that you trust to sell these or something like that.
Unfortunately, everything I do is on the level, so I don't have a fence now.
Okay.
I have building contractors, and I have a couple animal wranglers, animal handlers, but other than that, yeah, I'm not part of the local thieves guild, sorry.
No, all good. I do think, when it comes to the basement, I think I might have a plan in regards to animal protection. So I think we're okay on that for the moment.
Every time someone says animal, Twiggy's eyes light up. Twiggy really just wants to ask how much it costs to get a poly.
I don't.
That's really what Twiggy wants to do.
How much does it cost to get a mimic as a rug?
Oh, so you know Fountain View.
Yes, we are actually relative friends with that group.
5,000
Polly likes
gold.
croissant.
Hey, have you ever tried to train one of those things? I've been told it's very difficult.
I can only imagine, seeing as I did not know that was even possible until we ran into Polly.
Do you have an untrained one and a training mimics for dummies book?
I mean,
I'll figure it
I'm
out.
sure we
I
can
might
get
lose
you
a
an
finger or
untrained
two.
one, but you're gonna need to summon that familiar quite often.
Yeah, I might. Might lose a finger or
Kaz,
two.
Kaz, you know what that book's gonna look like, right? It's gonna have the words.
Don't.
It's gonna have the words written on it. Train your mimic for dummies. You open the book, and it's just gonna show a picture of you getting eaten by the
No,
mimic.
the
right?
problem is there's a book that says how to train a mimic for dummies, and you open it up, and the teeth launch out at you and drag you into the book because it's the mimic.
Yes. That's amazing. Oh, that was good. That was good.
Sorry.
Okay.
My fault.
So, the reason why I asked this question is because we have a minute ago about the what you would accept as trade, is because we have We have a leather saddle that might have been nice, but we actually, more specifically, I have an ivory comb with some
Thank you for the
engravings
sub.
on it.
Oh. Oh,
That
I'll
might
take a look at
be that might be more the speed of what you're looking for. Give me an idea on what you think it's worth and what it will, and we'll see if we can use that as part of it. Hey, Luther would show her the ivory comb with the engravings with spirals on it.
Okay.
He figured it to be about
Okay.
400 gold.
Uh,
Now I know that there was some iffiness on that because I didn't roll, a natural 20 or anything,
right.
but I did roll 15 to 20. So
Trying to remember
I was-
which loot that one was in.
that was in the list we got
split.
from here.
Okay.
Like when we first broke down this place.
Wink.
Yeah, because if he can use that, that should hopefully take a sizable chunk out of what we have available.
Yeah, we can take like 275 out of the total for that. I'm okay with that. That's nice.
Could we make it maybe an even 300?
Okay.
So then knock that off, and we would owe about 340, 345 after that.
Yeah, that works.
Now my next question, is there a way to, how do I phrase this right? Mostly permanently seal up that door to the point
Thank you for the sub,
where
Rose.
it's not going to be like where people can't get in, but if we want to, working through you, get it put back to being a doorway.
I mean, I can make it so that that door is not functional at the moment. The problem is it's still only wood. Now, it's
Well,
treated wood, so it's not going to rot, but there's ways to get through wood.
Which
Yeah,
which
he
is
knows.
understandable. Yeah.
He- Cass is an expert
There's
at getting
no
through
fun.
wooden structures.
Or libraries.
However, I believe that just the dissuading possibility of there's a couple traps that go off and there's a door that doesn't want to work. I'm hoping that dissuades off the minimal basic thieves that might stumble their way into it. And then anybody that's determined to get through will find a way through whether you seal it shut or not. So I think just any basic dissuasion, and again, I think I might have a plan for also another layer of protection down there. It might take me a little bit of time, but I might have a plan.
Okay. I mean, sure.
We can. Right now, I don't know if we want to completely seal that off just yet. I have a couple ideas to deal with that as well.
Okay.
But worst case, we can go through you to seal it off if we absolutely have to. But
I mean, absolute worst case, you can kind of just, like, brick it up and ruin it. I mean, it'd be a shame to ruin a Michelin sliding door, but I could always put in a different Michelin sliding door.
Does anybody have a coin at their like where they're at? Cool. Can you
Yeah.
flip it for me?
Yeah.
Morden's got it.
Okay.
heads.
Okay. Thank you.
I may, in fact, keep a challenge coin on my desk.
I was having him flip in order to be able to answer your question.
Fair enough.
So, because absolutely, we have boxes and stuff we need to go through down there anyway. Worst case, if we absolutely need to do anything, we can use some of those boxes to block that off for right now. But like we
Yeah,
don't need
I mean,
we don't need to
heavy
do anything
objects
extra.
Heavy objects would deter most of what's going to come through there. I mean, if that does lead down to the catacombs, you're looking at, I mean, mostly spiders, kobolds, the rare undead. I mean, but nothing that's going to be able to push a stack of crates or anything.
Right.
And anything that could push a stack of crates probably isn't going to fit through a 3-foot tall door.
There is that. I barely fit through the door, and I'm pretty sure, Ven would have to take his armor off to get through the door.
It's a small door.
Yeah, it's a ton-style cask.
Ooh. Pickle cask.
No,
No?
no pickles.
No pickle.
But so, second, if you can, it's actually no. We have 400 gold and platinum, correct?
Yes.
I would break that up into 300 and then get the 45 out of the gold pieces.
Okay.
And then I'll also give her the comb. And
My internet connection is actually looking fairly stable right now for the first time in the entire night. So while we're still talking, I'm going to do a shutdown and restart and see if we can get the foundry to get through this time.
Okay.
Just so you know, but keep going with your thought.
Yeah, no, I was just making sure you were aware that is what Luther's going to be doing. Luther's
Okay.
going to start getting the money together and to give to Sally and just reconfirm with her how much time all of this is expected to take.
And I would like to also ask while he's doing that, you said something about babysitting, or not babysitting, but checkups, check-ins. Is there,
It's 2 gold a week.
was it 2 gold a week is what she said? I missed that. Okay. Do you guys
Yeah,
think that would be, I mean, we have Fountain View also checking up, but another set of eyes would not be bad, especially one that can tell when a trap has been triggered.
I mean, if it's a loud trap, I hope everyone can tell it's been triggered, unless they've got their nose so far up a book that they can't see what the heck their own hands are doing. It should
but
be.
I'm more funny. I'm more worried about when
Got here.
when we are gone.
That's true. We do
can
have
give
plans
her,
that take us out.
Because loud won't matter if there's nobody here to hear.
Right.
We have, with the amount of gold we have, we can give her basically what would be 8 pieces to cover us for a month
Can I,
without any real issue at all.
DM, can I,
Mhm.
with my knowledge of how the map has uncovered itself
Okay.
as we've moved,
Okay.
can I almost do the mental math to see? I mean, eventually we're going to start heading to all of these different places. And
Right.
obviously, there are going to be stuff that happens in between that will either speed up or slow down travel. There's no doubt. I mean, we'll run across canyons. We might run across a forest that'll take us twice as long. We might run across a river that we can float down and be super fast. I mean, there's so many different but just from distance sake, if we walk the whole way with no interruptions, can I guess how long it might take to get to the closest location that we're aiming for?
The closest location is almost right outside of town. It's the point
knoll
that has been described as a knoll warlord camp. And it is maybe 15 miles south of the fortress.
And someone who doesn't know all that stuff, how long will that take us to walk to? A couple days?
I mean, walking, it'd take you the better part of a day to get there. And even if you left at dawn and the fight was quick, you'd be coming back in the dark. If you have mounts, you're going to be there in a couple hours.
Okay. So the closest, what about the next closest one? I'm trying to see, I'm trying to see, like, as he said, we could put down 8 gold for a month. will we ever have to I mean, we're not anytime soon. If we're trying to get to the close ones, we're
Right.
never going to travel for more than a month where we're
No.
sitting without gold.
I
Not
mean,
anytime soon. Not anytime
barring capture or unforeseen circumstances, the
I think
closest,
we're probably going to.
yeah, the closest 3, and by the time you get more than 3, you would more than likely be talking about traveling with mounts. So the closest 5, they're not gonna be more than a month at a shot.
Okay. That's mostly what I was. And again, obviously there are unforeseen circumstances which might delay things or whatever. But just as an overall basis, I think we put down the 8 gold. We have her check up as well as Fountain View 5. That gets 2 eyes on a base that we're not going to be around. I have a plan to install somewhat of a defense. Seems like Luther has an idea to put in somewhat of a defense. Twiggy, I'm assuming you can talk to plants, so maybe you throw some of those vines on the building, and that can help protect. Or maybe downstairs, we can load up the downstairs with the vines.
I'm
Cass,
gonna load up your bedroom with the vines.
But can you not speak? I mean, there's magics that allow people to speak to plants. I assumed you can innately do that.
No.
Cass, I'm pretty sure if we had those plants around the base, you'd never come back home ever again.
Well, I'd probably sit in my room, but
Rocking in a corner.
You're right. You're not wrong. I was more thinking shoving them downstairs where they would never be seen in the light of day, but
I mean, if you put plants where they're never going to see the light of day, you're not going to have them very long.
Those are just called fungus.
Yeah, and there are fungi that we do not want.
No, but
And-
they're a fun time.
okay. Well, I will,
Mushrooms.
And, I mean, you can get, like, tangler vines and mangler vines and stuff like that as base defense, but I don't recommend them because you can't train those. They're just going to attack everybody. Based on size, but
Yeah, he knows.
since I'm small enough to count for just about all of the sizes, I'm not a fan.
all right. So that,
The way
I would
Cass
say-
is, he counts
I'm
for
not
all
a
the
fan
sizes
either. I
too,
will agree with that.
unfortunately.
All right. So we have Fountain V5. We have Jazz Hands. We have my possible defense. We have Luther's possible defense, and we have the planned defenses that we're going to be adding.
Right.
Is there anything else that we can think of? I mean, I have some plans I'd like to do, but we don't have nearly enough money nor the reasoning to do it at the moment.
These are good for the now, because the now is all we have really right now, because there's lots we don't know. This is the things we do know. So this is a good start. Yes?
That's fine.
I
by me.
think we're at a point where this is a good place to start, and if we feel like we need to add later, we know who to talk to.
As a craftsmaster, do you have any direction we could possibly go in order to locating a individual that might act as it's not really stolen goods, so I don't know if a fence would be the right one, but is there anybody that, besides just wandering around the
Open hands.
Free hand.
open hands or
Offhands.
Offhands. There we go.
Offhands.
That's it. Besides just
We all
wandering
got it
around, from what it seemed like, at least when it came to magical items that I was looking at, that's the worst prices ever. We're not going to get nearly as much as we should.
I mean,
Well, that makes sense, unfortunately.
you could try to sell them in offhands if you want. You could try to sell them to Lothar Black Anvil. If they're armor or weapons and built well enough, he'd probably buy them. But other than that,
Any guilds that you've done work for that are trying to gather all you've gone in and see just a horde of magic items just sitting around waiting?
I mean, you could probably sell them to some of the barons in the Black Fortress, but I don't trust going in there, so I really don't know anybody inside the walls.
Well, that's actually enough wonderful information. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Gilly doggly.
She actually does bobble her head back and forth a little bit, and the plume on her hat just kind of like waves in the air.
All right, so Luther, I'm assuming you have paid at this point.
Luther would have gotten 355 gold using a mixture of platinum and gold to give to her.
I mean, 35 platinum and 5 gold. Yeah. And a comb.
And the comb, correct.
Yeah.
Because
And
Luther
how
knew
long-
he wasn't getting as much. He wasn't going to get the full 500 out of that. He was actually surprised that she said 275, which is why it took me a minute to go, wait a minute, that was more than I thought I was going to get.
She takes the coins and the item from you, and looks over the item a couple times, puts them into the large pouch on her side, and
Pleasure doing business with you.
Okay, so you come see
Same.
us, what, 2 days with Peoples or 1 day or?
Yeah, it'll take me about 2 days to. I mean, I can get the workmen tomorrow. That's not a problem. The bigger problem is I need to get this kind of stone so that the wall can match. So that's going to take me a couple days to be able to source the stone.
Interior decoration at its best.
I mean,
Then-
I don't do shoddy work. I got to make this look right. My reputation's on the line.
I mean, I want there to be a nice stable. I'm going to have good things in the stable. They're going to be great things. Yes.
You just got to make sure Cass doesn't get his hands on them for too long or they'll probably burn.
No. Even
I'm gonna just
Cass.
stop using fire if you all want to just keep.
No, it's going to be fine. Cass is going to love it too. Cass would never dream of lighting things on
Soon
fire.
you're gonna say everything's gonna freeze.
Okay, so
No, nothing's going to
I'm gonna go then, because you guys are starting to get violent. So
Okay. Next
I'll
time
be
you
back
come,
tomorrow.
tell me how many people you bring. I make them dinner, okay?
Luther, have a good one. Luther is just laughing at Cass at this point. It's because he can't. He's not gonna ever not make fun of you for lighting things on fire. Just,
I know.
just be aware.
so she starts walking out and walking towards the door.
You're,
I will.
yep.
Twiggy will follow her out to walk her out the door
Okay.
because that's hospitality.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
And she gives you a little wave at the door, and then skadoodles.
Yay!
And I will go back to probably another 3 or 4 more items that I
You
go back
are
to identify
5 items in.
Oh, wonderful. Okay,
Not
1, 2,
bad.
3. Oh God. Okay. So I've got 3, 4,
You're gonna be there the rest of the night.
6, 7, 8,
Um,
9,
you-
Thanks for the help,
10,
Adaya.
You all
So I
have
got
finished
12.
a short rest at this point, and it is
Okay.
like probably going to stretch into a long rest because let's face it, I'm not going to have you get attacked by anything tonight because nobody can get into Foundry.
Yeah, I've been looking at ways around that.
Yeah, we'll have that resolved by tomorrow.
Oh my God,
Unfortunately,
I'm gonna be up for another 2 hours.
Yelp.
All right. So I got another 2 hours in front of me, boys and girls.
Well, another
Okay,
2
okay.
items through, so 20 minutes later,
Uh-huh.
you hear a knock at the door.
That would be the orange liquid, correct?
Probably,
doing-
yes.
Doing
The orange liquid is at the door.
It's a news!
Nope.
Run, Luther!
no.
Run!
Luther would absolutely be down that tunnel running into the city if it was a news.
I hope it is.
It's the time ago. You're just like the orange liquid. Is that the
Lu-
orange liquid? I'm like, no.
Luther would be walking towards the door because, he heard a knock.
Okay.
Hoping it's not
Does
news.
he see anybody through the door? And if it is ooze-like, let me know.
It is not ooze-like. It is
Yeah.
it is person-like.
I thought he was about to say plant like. I was about to
I
say, haven't you
zombies are
tortured me
person-like.
enough?
As you look through the arrow slit in the door, you see a man just over 6 foot tall in black. By the way, it is fair to point out it is nighttime. Black clothing with green trim, black fingerless gloves. Both arms are bare. There are dragon tattoos on his left arm. He is wearing what looks like a leather coat, but it buckles across the chest, so it's more of a riding cloak that doesn't go below the waist. And he is standing far enough back from the door so that you know that he's making sure that he can be seen, and that you can see the red flag that he is nonchalantly resting on his shoulder and kind of flipped forward so that it's on the front of the shoulder rather than the back. He is brown haired, chopped just above shoulder length, 5 o'clock shadow, with a scar that runs down across his left eye and onto the cheekbone.
Okay. Can I help you? He has not opened the door, to clarify.
Yes. In fact, and he holds up a piece of paper, I'd like to talk to your wizard. And we will end there.
Nice.
How did he find me?
It took 2 tries. So,
You kept beating your willpower rolls. What do you want?
what
did you set on fire?
Ray? What did you do? So,
You can't have our wizard. He's busy. We locked him in the closet with many glowing things. You can't have him till he's done. It's his homework.
you can't kill him till he finishes identifying everything for us. Okay, so we will be ending there for this part. We will be picking up again in for part 3 of this chapter in just a second. If you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please like, please subscribe, please make a comment down below. Please come and watch us do this on Tuesdays, where we do this every night from 8 p.m. to midnight-ish Eastern. Also on Thursdays, we have another campaign, which is run by Morden and Luther, and it's run by Morden, and Greymane and Ace and I play in that one. So make sure you come around for that. New episodes go up Tuesdays and Fridays. Episodes for the Thursday campaign go up Thursdays and probably Sundays. I don't know. We'll find out. So go ahead, stop by Second Class Elitist at Twitch. Second is spelled out instead of the 2ND. That's how it looks on Twitter, so you can contact me there as well. In the meantime, everybody, thank you very much. I want to thank our players that we had tonight. Lost Without a Trace, Scorched Ace 97, Ari Cypress Everly, Greymane Gaming, and Morden 56. And we are going to give you Stupid Waves, and we will see you all next time. Bye!